the Lord showed me a two-part vision that seemed totally unrelated. It took a bit of time to realize what the Lord was saying. Firstly, I saw a wide, laughing mouth. It belonged to one of those moving clown heads from Sideshow Alley. It's a game of chance where balls are popped into the moving mouth and directed by chance into various slots that are numbered. The total number can win the top shelf prize, rarely, or more often than not, some poor trinket that is soon broken or discarded. I feel the Lord is saying that many of us are playing a game of chance and allowing our circumstances to control our life experiences and future plans. We put our hopes and dreams down the clown's mouth and are disappointed when we don't get what we want. The only one laughing is the clown. The Lord is saying that too often we are buffeted and shaken by situations and circumstances that come against us or challenge us. It's like we are the ball, and whatever chance dishes up, we try and conform to the new situation or work around it instead of us taking authority and the circumstances conforming in obedience to us. When Jesus was asleep in the boat amidst the storm, the disciples were being controlled by the situation, shaken by the strong winds and high waves, and fearful for their lives. Jesus was in the same situation, being in the boat, in the storm, but he slept. When the disciples woke him in their fear, he took authority over the wind and commanded the waves to cease. Mark 4:35-41. But he marveled at their lack of faith. The external environment obeyed Jesus because it recognized his authority by the peace that reigned in his internal environment. Some of us are living in a storm at the moment. Winds and waves of affliction and enemy attack are billowing over us. The enemy will not recognize our authority if the storm also rages within us. The enemy can play us in his game of chance if we allow these things to control us, our thoughts, words, or actions. We become subject to our circumstances. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful. Colossians 3:15. You will keep in perfect peace all who trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. The Hebrew translation says, because he trusts in you, you will keep him in shalom, shalom, the one whose mind is close to, dependent on you. The double shalom means it's so much stronger than perfect peace. It means perfect peace and order even in the midst of chaos. Shalom cannot be translated into English with a single word. It means to be complete, whole, nothing broken, nothing amiss. It means tranquility, justice, sufficient food, clothing, and housing. It means divine health and the absence of disease, disorder, injustice, corruption, conflict, lack, hatred, violence, pain, suffering, and every other negative force. It means no good thing is withheld. Jesus is Sar Shalom, the Prince of Peace. When our hearts and thought life are totally focused, fixed and dependent on him, fully trusting and believing in faith, then our internal environment of perfect peace will have authority over nature and over the works of the enemy. Our circumstances will not rule us or toss us to and fro to bring fear, doubt, or anxiety, but our circumstances will be brought into submission to us according to God's will, and we will have the victory. Sometimes we have to walk through it, and other times, like Paul and Silas in jail in Philippi, Acts 16:25, we break through it. The Lord is the God of the brought through and the breakthrough. Either way, we will have the victory, if our minds and hearts are focused on Jesus and not on our circumstances. For the mindset, thoughts, and purposes of the flesh is death, but the mindset of the Spirit is life and peace. Romans 8:6, the One New Man Bible. Great peace have those who love your word, and nothing can make them stumble. Psalm 119, 165. You must continually rejoice in the Lord always. Again I say rejoice. Your gentleness must always be known to all people. The Lord is near. And you must at no point be anxious about anything. Anxiety is a curse, but your requests must quickly be made known to God in every prayer and entreaty with thanksgiving. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will keep your hearts and your thoughts and purposes in Messiah Yeshua. Philippians 4, 4-7, the One New Man Bible. The second vision came soon after the first. My whole vision was flooded with a mass of fluttering butterflies. They were bright, rich orange with black and white markings. The sunlight reflected off their wings and the yellow blossoms they amassed to, so that all I could see was glorious oranges, yellows, and golden rays of light moving and rising as one. It was breathtakingly beautiful, and I knew the butterflies were monarchs. Butterflies symbolize change and transformation, rebirth and growth, freedom, joy, and hope. They represent outward the old and inward the new. I saw a cocoon, and immediately I was reminded of a vision the Lord gave me on the weekend. It was all about the tomb, dying to the old ways, to fleshly thinking, and to the past that hinders. But more so, it was about resurrection power and life that transforms. The tomb is the womb. Death brings forth new life. The Lord is calling us deeper, deeper into Him, but the way is through the tomb, laying down and dying to sin, to our own ways and thoughts that limit and imprison and prevent us from living in His resurrection power. We are to be transformed by His resurrection life and power, for the same Spirit that raised Jesus lives in us. We are to look and sound and smell different to the world. Just as the caterpillar has no resemblance to the butterfly, it goes into the cocoon, tomb, womb, and emerges a new creature. So too are we a new creation in Christ Jesus. Not only are we to renew our minds, but our whole lives and persona are to be transformed and continually changed by His glory, for His glory, and toward ever increasing glory. Romans 12:2. 2 Corinthians 3:18, 2 Corinthians 5:17. The Lord showed me monarch butterflies for a reason. A monarch is one who reigns over territory by inherited right. In Christ Jesus we are royalty, called to rule and reign with Him. It is our inherited birthright as sons and daughters of the King of Kings. 1 Peter 2:9, Romans 5:17. We are to rule and reign over nature, over difficult circumstances, over the storms and chaos that rages around us and tries to gain access to our minds and hearts as well. We are to rise up with freedom, hope, joy, and the glory of God on our wings. But we can't do this if we are continually putting our balls down the clown's mouth and being ruled over by our circumstances, anxious, fretful, worried, heavily burdened, or dismayed. We will stay in the caterpillar mode, earthbound and wingless. We need to enter the cocoon and allow the Lord to do His work in us, to die to the old and to the things of the flesh. The tomb then becomes the womb for new life to spring forth. The Lord's desire is for us to emerge transformed by His resurrection power and life surging through us, imparting the same to those we touch and minister to and love on. It's God's design and plan for us, just as it is God's plan for the life cycle of His butterflies. The glory of God is to shine from us and rest on us like the powder continually being shed from a butterfly's wings. This powder or scales on a butterfly's wings are protective. They bring out the vibrancy, colour and pattern of the wing. So too does God's glory. His presence on us is protective. God's presence brings forth the true us in all our colours, giftings and uniqueness. His glory is attractive to us and a fearful thing to the enemy. Wherever we go, we should be leaving a trail of God's resurrection power, life, joy, peace and righteousness. We carry God's healing in our wings. Don't let the clown have his way. Let's not settle for the grub's life. Let us be obedient to the tomb so that it becomes the womb that brings forth transformation, not just for ourselves, but for the world. Then let us become the womb to birth this new era of transformation. Explore me, O God, and know the real me. Dig deeply and discover who I am. Put me to the test and watch how I handle the strain. Examine me to see if there is a grievous bone in me, and guide me down your path forever. Psalm 139, 23 and 24, the Voice Bible. Heavenly Father, thank you that Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Lord, I need your peace to rule and reign in my heart and mind. Teach me to trust and focus on you, not the winds and waves that rock my world. Please forgive me for not standing in my God-given authority when circumstances and attacks come against me, and instead allowing them to control my thoughts and emotions, bringing doubt, anxiety, fear, and powerlessness. Lord, I want to change. Help me to enter that cocoon and die to the old ways that hinder and keep me wingless. Transform me through your resurrection power into that butterfly with your glory on my wings. Please give me a greater revelation of the authority you have given me to rule and reign with you and to manifest your glory on the earth. In Jesus' name, amen.